Yes, my name's Adam Page and I work as a lifestyle coordinator at Cordona House in Riverside. I got into that area of work because I really enjoy the company of elderly people. I always have. I also enjoy being kind to people on a daily basis, and that job and my role in particular allows me to be kind, patient and provide fun. And I love the residents, I love the enthusiasm they bring to my activities that I organise and things that they want to do and choose to do. We do everything from art therapy. At the moment we've got an art exhibition at the West Tamar Council offices in the main foyer. So that's never happened before with an aged care home, it's always been for established artists. So to have our art therapy class have their artworks up on the wall for sale for the public to see, it's been fantastic. We do a lot of bus trips. We spend a lot of time in the Tamar Valley, a lot of time because there's lots to see, and a lot of our residents are from the Tamar Valley. So we revisit a lot of their old stomping grounds, so to speak. And we also do have a lot of concerts, bingo, exercise class twice a week, and footy tipping, all those things. We try and keep the residents stimulated from morning and afternoon. Of course they get to choose their level of participation, which is fine. Some people only like to do things in the morning and vice versa, so there's something for everybody. Well, it's funny because Humours of Launceston actually was probably what got me into aged care. Now, I had just a one-off chance meeting with an elderly gentleman at a Coles in Newstead, and he looked very lonely on a park bench, and I had some spare time. So I sat down and I said, "How you going, mate?" And he went, "Oh, nobody wants to talk." He had a very strong accent. And we ended up talking for about 15-20 minutes, and he was a fascinating man, a world-renowned pathologist, and had only been in Tasmania for 5 years to be with his children who lived down here, and it inspired me to record his story for him, and his life was a fascinating tale of war, great success, failed marriages, 11 children. He's a fascinating man. So I did that, I gave him a copy of it. He was very, very happy with it and said, "I can't believe someone's bothered to do that." And it just got me thinking that there's a lot of elderly people out there who are unheard, whose stories will go with them when they die, whose families are probably sick of hearing their same old stories and don't bother writing it down or documenting their memories. So I started doing it, and I don't just do elderly people, of course, but the majority are elderly. And out of 160 or so people that I've interviewed over the last 5 or 6 years, probably about 30 or 40 of those have now passed away. So a lot of the time they use my story as a eulogy at the funeral, and the families keep it as a keepsake of, a great memory. So I get a lot of satisfaction out of that, and I don't do it, there's no money involved or anything. I do it purely for the passion of storytelling and validating people's memories and, letting them feel like they've been heard. And I do that every day at work, so it's like a mini Humours of Launceston, like it really is, because I sit down and I talk to people, and in our particular facility I write their life story to put in our care plan. So when new staff come in, especially our residents with dementia or who are non-verbal, who you really can't find out anything about, I've made sure that I've got their story, put it in their care plan. New staff come in and read it, go, "Oh, he was a doctor, here is a dentist, she was, she loved to do this." I think it's very important that people with dementia are also recognised and heard and have their stories validated as well. Singing's a massive part of my life, and I incorporate that in my work. I sing a lot of songs. Sometimes I just break out into song halfway through an activity, and but yeah, singing and music are vital tools in the aged care sector, because even with people with dementia, the last part of their memories that go is their childhood. So any music they know from their younger years, if you play that, they're straight into it, singing top of their lungs. But then they don't know who you are the next day, but they know the songs. And music's very powerful, and music is a huge part of me as a person, huge. So I do Adam Page Rock and Roll Show as a soloist, and I play everything from AC/DC to Kenny Rogers. I'm an Elvis tribute artist, I like to call myself, rather than an impersonator. But I've stopped doing that now, and I've grew a beard. Elvis never had a blonde beard, unfortunately, otherwise I'd probably make a killing.
There must be peace and understanding sometimes. Storm winds of promise that will blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on.